Evening, everyone. It's 5:45 on Monday, the 7th of February, and this is your closing comment. It's video number 1140. Well, it was an up and finally down day, with actually mostly the NASDAQ dragging everything with it. The Dow closed up $1.39 after being up 220. NASDAQ closed down 82, or about 0.6%. S&P down 1666, or about 0.4. On the upside, we had the Russell up $10.24, which is 0.5%, and the Dow Jones Transports down 2136. In the news, we had consumer credit was up 18.9 billion for last month. Expectations were a little higher than that, so that was actually a good number, even though it is an expansion. And of course, part of the big news was Peloton, which on Friday night was higher. It traded as high as about 34 and change today, came all the way back down to about 28, but closed 29 and three quarters, up 515 or 21%. The stock is still down hard. There's talk that it's Amazon or Nike or possibly even Apple. But Apple is kind of a strange one because this would probably be about a 12 or $15 billion deal, and they've never done a big deal. The biggest deal they ever did was the Beats deal with Dr. Dre, and that was only $3 billion, so nothing overwhelming. On the earnings side, TYSON, which this morning I told you was up about $5, actually finished the day up 1080 at 99.09, up 12.2%, beat on all metrics, and part of that came right out of your and my pocket. Um, Meat prices, beef and chicken, up roughly 31% in the quarter. On semiconductor beat, stock closed 62.26, up 484 or 8.4%. Amgen beat on earnings, but missed on revenues. The stock had closed 223.53, up $1.42. Traded as high as 232 on the headline, but then came all the way back down. The last I have as 221 and a half, down 61 cents on the day, but you have to add the $1.42. It was up today, so it was about $2 lower. The merger Monday news I mentioned this morning was Spirit Air and Frontier. This was originally called the merger of equals, but it turns out that Frontier will have a little over 51%. Spirit was higher this morning, but finished 25.46, up almost $4, 17%, while Frontier, which was down this morning, managed to close 12.82, up 43 cents or 3.5%. As I mentioned, the issues were on the NASDAQ, and Alphabet, the Google parent company, closed 27.78 and three quarters, and that was down over 81 and a half or 3%. And of course, Facebook, which just seems to be down every day. I'm sure that we'll get a huge bounce out of it one of these days, but today it was 224.91, down 12.18 or 5%. There was another one, VLDR. This is Velodyne. It was a deal in Silicon Valley, and the stock had closed at 377, down 3 cents, but in late trading on some sort of news that I guess Amazon has either taken a position or has agreed to take a position, and now has warrants at $4 and change, sent the stock straight up to 759. Last I have is 686. Remember, I said 377. 686, up $3.06 or 80%. I'm sure that we'll hear about it between now and tomorrow morning. Okay, the chart on the screen. By the way, we took our profit in BITO, possibly a little early, but nonetheless, 150% net gain on it. And the chart on the screen is the silver. Now, we're long both silver and gold. The silver is a little bit more important for two reasons. First of all, while the gold was up 0.75%, I'll show you that chart in a minute. While gold was up 0.75%, silver was up 2.75%. The reason why that's important is because we are long AGQ, which is a leveraged ETF. So on the day today, it was much higher. I believe that the options closed at about $1.09. The stock was actually $33.49, up $1.52. So silver was up about 2.5%, 2.4%, and AGQ was up twice that, and our options actually closed at $1.09, and that was up 47 cents or 76%. The gold was up, as I mentioned, $14. And I'll show you what that chart looks like. Even though it's not quite as impressive as the silver, it really looks good. It closed at 1821. Dennis has been telling me about 18. His number is up in the 1830s. I don't recall exactly, maybe 1832, which would have been that close, but my numbers were any close above yesterday's high. Friday's high was 1815. We closed 1821.80. But as I said, up 77%, where the silver was up 2.75%. Those options, which cost us $1.28, closed $2.31, up 66 cents after trading as high as $2.38. We'll probably lose half of that position tomorrow on the 100% up rule. We're still pretty comfortable with the AGQs. So that's what I have for you. Bitcoin stronger again, up almost 3,600 at 44,235. As I said, we took a profit. We owned those calls at $1.28. Fortunately, we didn't get taken out on Friday at $2.56, which would have been 100% up. And we sold them today at $3.40 on the open on a 325 or better offer. The dollar was down about 9 cents. Bonds were up about $0.25. And although the oil was down, the real feature there clearly was nat gas. Nat gas down another 7.5%. So we have gone in nat gas in the last 3 days from prior close of 550 to a close today of 423, 550 to 423. It's $1.25 on $5.50. That's a pretty hefty 20% down, 25% down in a matter of days. I think we're getting back into support here, and if we get down around this orange line, which is the 50-day moving average, I'm going to say I'll probably get back into the UNG. All right, everyone, have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning.